Okay, everybody. So we can either go into the vortex and potentially push Brian out. Push him into the vortex. Could be quite an aggressive way of playing.
Owen is the player who just pushes people into vortexes repeatedly.
Yeah. Or we can pick somewhere a little bit safer as well on this side of the board. I don't know, is that focusing correctly? Doesn't seem like it's focusing.
How do you touch to focus? Touch.
Yeah, it's not focusing great, is it?
Does it have
too close? Maybe just
manual
put
focus?
it up a little bit.
Is it a manual focus? I don't think so.
No, it's not.
There should be an LED on it that's blue. That should be checking it. What did I say?
There you go, that's pretty good.
Tom thinks whiskey helps focus it.
Focus with approximately 2 whiskies added. Tom, you have no idea how good my whiskey is going to taste this evening. Focused or not.
Alright. So move our camera back.
Do you want to mount it up on the smaller tripod or maybe just put it here?
Yeah, move it closer.
I think if my opinion counts, I think we should bounce Brian into the vortex.
That's my lovely assistant who was so helpful up till now. She's even commenting on that. Should we go bouncing Brian into the vortex? God damn it.
I think it's a good idea. I think we should try and push Brian in. See if we can get away with it. Alright. Okay, so yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to put our bot right beside Brian here. And we're going to roll the dice. And really, usually we want to get this symbol, which is land where we are. In this case, we don't. We want to be pushed by the storm. So we want to get pretty much anything else that will allow us to push Brian into the storm. So we'll roll this now.
Yes!
And I rolled this. Which means
stay where you are.
I stay where I am. Which
Brian
is not
safe.
It's not a bad idea because we still get 2 reds out of it. At the moment, I currently have 5 reds. So currently we have a lot of reds. So maybe we can look at the domes as well, see how many reds we can use. So bot production has a lot.
Yes, I can definitely do with some reds. So I'm going to use my little collector bot again. I'm going to plant them out over here. And nice. So I got this little symbol here, which means on the 8-sided dice it means that I can't see the screen, so I'm assuming it's in focus. It means I can either stay where I am or I can choose what direction I want to go. So in this case I'm going to stay where I am because I want to get those red.
Alright, cool. Okay, so I'll just ask in the chat then. Do we want to go for more resources? Do we want to go for more bots? We have a lot of resources at the moment. We have like this is the resources we have at the moment. So there's a lot of yellow, a lot of red, which means we can kind of go up any track we want, and pretty much build anything with a lot of reds. I think we just need, at the moment we have 1 green, so we're probably going to need more green to get us out. So yeah, we can either choose more resources, probably green, or we can choose more bots. We can try and get a new bot. That could give us more actions next go, or even for the entire game. We can also try putting 2 bots together and going into like the special areas where we can move other bots or steal resources, or even build a dome. Or we can build a new dome, which is put a bot on the build dome section if we think we can do that. So what do we think? What do we think? There's a nice blue here. It's a double blue. So what do we think? 2 bots go to my mind. Yeah, 2 bots is a good idea. I like that idea. So in the 2 bots section, I'll kind of bring this over. Hopefully this will focus again. So inside the 2 bots section, you can see here, there's this kind of little red section here. There's 5 different actions. One of them is move any bot, which is very useful if you want to push Brian's bot into a vortex.
No.
There's also see that blue dome one? That blue dome one allows us to build a dome with minus 2 resources. So we can, with 2 less resources we need.
Alright guys, just trying to work out the camera here. See if we can get it.
That doesn't work.
I feel like we had one with extended legs.
Doesn't really work. Not really. Sorry about this.
Sorry about this, guys.
Alright, so yeah, so we can go with this over here. It's inside the storm, which means it's trickier. I wonder why this isn't recording. This isn't focusing in. Then there's another 2-bot area over here, and this has no storm. It allows us to steal resources from Brian. So if we know Brian is trying to build something, we can take those resources from him, or we can get a new bot, or a wormhole token is the middle one there. So a lot of different options here. Should we try and go for building a dome with 2 less resources? If we try building a dome with 2 less resources, it means we won't need the green. What do you think? Try and build a thing with two less resources?
Go for it.
Okay, so I have these 2 domes. I want to stack these 2 domes up here like this. I want to place it on build.
Ooh.
2 dome.
High risk because he's right above a vortex. So if he doesn't roll to stay in place, he's got a 50-50 chance. But if he doesn't roll to stay in place, that double bot is going into the vortex. Oh! Disaster. So now you have a choice of either lose your bots or spend your vortex token and reroll.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, I want to spend this. I think we should. Do you guys agree? We should get rid of this vortex token. It's a pretty good idea. We're gonna get rid of this vortex token and do a reroll. Hopefully our second roll will be a little bit better. Okay, let's roll this. I want to roll this this D8 again.
Oh,
Nice.
stay where he is.
So we got to stay where we are, which is perfect. Which means now we can build that dome. The domes of our dreams.
Build that dome. I am going to place a bot out to build a dome. Feeling optimistic.
Okay. So now we have the dome. What do we think? Do we think we should get more resources or try and get more bots? Because they're both pretty useful. There's a good resource one up here, there where we can get 1 of each resource. That could be quite useful. It's like it's one of the hardest ones to get, but at the moment we've got a pretty good chance of getting it. We could send our little miner. We could send the little miner guy out to do it. It's risky. It's risky because it's beside a giant vortex.
If Owen sends his miner out, he'll get double the amount of resources. He'll get 6 resources from that one tile.
Yeah.
But he's risking a lot by putting his miner right beside it.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think? Should we risk the miner to get more resources, or should we play it safe? I know my answer, but you know, some people like to play it safe. Playing it safe is fine. Playing it safe is fine. Mention in the chat, play it safe or
Risk it for a biscuit.
Go risky. What do you think? Risk it for...
Risk it for a resource biscuit. Nice.
I like the way you think. Alright, so we're going to put it here. And so there's a 66% chance it'll go. Otherwise, everyone else gains a blue. Right?
Everyone else gains 2 blues.
Everyone else gains 2 blues.
Minor doubles the resources.
And even if we do make it, Brian could just push us in.
Brian is 100% going to push you in.
Alright, so I'm there. I'm in. So does Brian now? So we did it, guys. We did it. But Brian needs to. If Brian pushes us in, he's started a war.
Brian feels ready for war. Ooh, that's Owen's custom bot. So Owen's custom bot is dead.
Our custom bot. Thank you very much.
Your collectively custom bot is dead. The only way to get him back is to spend 3 vortex tokens on him. So you're going to have to start racking up the vortex tokens. So you can either get vortex tokens by throwing other bots into wormholes, or there are 2 spaces on the board where you can gain them, or you can start building domes that give you vortex tokens. So there's a good few ways to get them.
So will we attack Brian again and push him into the vortex? Okay, so
You've started down that road.
in the comments, just say start the war if we want to start this war with Brian, or we could just decide to build our own
blaze your own trail.
Or slow and steady or start the war. Slow and steady means I'll pick up like some resources and some bots. Start the war is let's just start aggressively attacking Brian. I feel like I know what people are going to say. You're going to say...
Brian's a nice person. Leave Brian alone.
So, start the war, or slow and steady. Slow and steady, or start the war.
I think they're in favour of... Damn it!
I like you, Tom.
Whose side are you on, Tom?
Alright, let's do this. Alright, Tom. So, yeah, we put there. We're going to try and push Brian's bot in. So let's roll our dice. Warfare, Tom. Let's do this.
Oh.
Nice. So, perfect. We sent Brian into the vortex, destroying his bot.
But I do get a vortex token for it.
And it is Brian's go. Now, does Brian continue to war? Or does he decide to go do something else?
I have learned that I can never afford war with Owen, so I'm just going to build another dome. And be left with very few bots for the next turn.
I think we're actually in a good spot here. We should use our last worker to build a dome. You can see down here at the bottom, Brian has 2 domes here. You'll notice that like when you're coming near to the end of the go, you should have a good idea as to how many domes you can build. Based on our resources, we can build 2 domes. So I'm going to put it down here.
Okie dokie, so all of our bots have been placed out, so the next thing to do is to gather up resources. I'll explain this build dome one here in a second. So I get this guy here, so he's my collector, so he gets to collect 2 red, but he also gets a green and a blue from one of the neighbouring tiles for himself.
We get our guy back, we get a green, a yellow, and a red. And then we also get 2 reds over here. So we have a lot of reds. We have 8 reds. And lots of things. So yeah, when it comes to the domes, we can build 2 domes. We can decide if we want to go for we don't go on a choice actually, come think of it.
So with this build dome tile, you get to build a dome. Not only do you get to build a dome for 2 resources cheaper, but you also get to build a dome first. You essentially skip this queue of people who are going to build. Now, early on in the game, there's plenty of spaces for everyone to build, but as you get later on, there's only 1 and 2 spaces to get the highest scoring domes. So sometimes you have to try and race up there, or if you're all competing to not be cut off, then you need to get there ahead of your opponent. So sometimes that build dome one gives you that jump advantage. So Owen gets to build a dome first, despite me having 2 domes out, or 2 bots in the dome tracker first.
Alright, so we have a choice, guys. One is we can build all the base domes, so like the first level of each type of dome, and that will give us a lot of resources throughout the game, but it won't give us anything cool like domes or vortex tokens or colony points. But if we have a base, we put ourselves into a much better position later on for doing these warfare tactics and kind of choosing how we want to play the game. The other option is we go straight up the bot production row, and we try and get some like more bots. We try and get more points, and we try and compete with Brian on the bot production. So should we compete with Brian on bot production or first row? It's all about the base. Alright, Tom is going all about the base.
No, I like that. Build your structure.
Okay.
There's bonuses for completing all the domes in a row as well. So
yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Okay, so going for the base is a great idea. Power plant is an obvious choice for getting the first one.
Bear in mind, your first one is building 2 resources cheaper.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out which one we can get away with. Yeah, I think we'll go for the habitat next, will we?
Yeah. Oh, going for the expensive one, racking up the points.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we will go with the habitat. Okay, yeah. So the build dome means we can choose 2 less resources, and because we don't actually have a whole lot of green and blue or yellow, we can use this build dome that we spent so much time getting to just pretty much get it for free without those 2 resources. So we'll take this guy off the top here and we'll put him down on this, and we'll take the other one that we had down and we put it on our player mat. It's 3 yellow, it's 2 green, 2 blue, and 2 red. I only had 1 blue and 2 yellow, but I still got it, and that gave me 14 points. So we're now up to 22 points, which is a big jump.
Yep.
And now Brian has 2 domes to build.
So I'm going to build the next one up in bot production, which is 2 yellow, 1 green, and 3 red. That gets me another 7 points, so I go up to 12. Not as fortuitous as Owen, but it does mean that at the start of every turn now, I get an extra bot, so that will benefit me in the long run, hopefully. With my next one, I'm going to. I already forgot what one I was going to build. Oh, I see. I've got the resource for this one, so I'm going to build one of the laboratories. Go for 2 yellow, 2 blue, 1 green, and that gets me another 7 points. So up to 19. Closing the gap.
Nice. And we have 1 more dome we can build, and we're going to build a power plant. So that's 2 yellow and 3 red, and that'll give us 7 points, so we're up to 29. Way in the lead. Way in the lead.
Okay, so that's the end of the round. So first player token moves back to you guys. The storm moves on to the next location, moves further across the planet. We get our resources back we get our reinforcements from Earth. So for round 3, we get 3 extra bots. And then we get the resources that are being generated by our domes. So for me, I get 1 of each resource and an extra bot.
And we get to choose 2 resources of any choice. We are running low on green and blue. So I think we should just pick 2 green. 2 green, that means we can pick the bot production level, first level. And it'll put us in a good position for the other ones. Okay, so we'll pick 2 green. Okay, so yeah, what I'm looking for is should we go for bots or resources? Because we're about halfway through the game. If we go for bots, we can have more actions later on, or should we go for resources?
Sorry?
What do we think?
Sure the dog isn't digging.
So the only thing you have to worry about when it comes to bots is you're limited to the amount of bots you can have. So this is the ones in our supply. So we can have loads of more bots if we wanted to. We're nowhere near our limits of the bots.
If you run out of spare bots in your spares, your stores, you get a bonus 7 points, and each bot that you gain while you have no spares just gets you a vortex token. So if you have a strategy where you are farming the bots, like you're getting all of the new bot tiles on the board and you're building up the bot track and things like that, and you're not playing against someone who's just repeatedly knocking you into a vortex, then you can rack up a lot of points and have a lot more, or have a much bigger army to try and get you around.
Okay. So what do we think? It's our first go. There's lots of kind of cool abilities out. I can just show you, couldn't I?
Yeah.
So this is what the current board looks like.
More bots again, says Tom.
Yeah. So there's a couple of different bot areas. Can you point them out, Brian? Is that possible?
So this will get you a new bot, but you need to put 2 bots in there to get it. This guy will get you a new bot, but he's right beside a vortex in the storm. This guy will get you a bot. He's relatively safe, but if you don't stick the landing, then you're 1 push away from being knocked into a vortex as well. There's another guy up here, but he's hidden under the vortex storm at the moment. So you're stuck not getting that one for this round.
Yeah. That one on the bottom looks pretty good though.
War were declared.
More bots again. All right. Yeah, I think there's that one. This one's high risk. It's very high risk.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go for the bot. 2. We put in 2.
Nice.
So we can get it.
Don't switch their cameras.
We're gonna spend a vortex token to reroll that.
Oh.
And then we're over here. So it's still a green and a blue, which is exactly what we need. So it's not the end of the world.
So here's where I can use the storm and own size to my advantage. I'm going to place out a single bot on that new bot tile. So normally I'd roll a dice, whatever, if it lands on a move direction I'd have to follow the storm arrow, but in this case there's a double bot in front of me. So my single bot can't push Owen's double bot out of the way, so it has to stay where it is. So I get the new bot now.
Cheater. Alright, so we go for the other bot. There's another bot, don't worry. We can do this. Alright, so we landed on, which is still great, it's still 5 victory points. So that's still really good. But we didn't get our bot.
We call them colony points in this game because victory points was in every other game, and I thought, let's try and do something different. So I thought, we're based on Titan. Originally the game was based on Mars, but there's already a game based on Mars, and everyone assumed they were the same game. So because this was based on Titan, I thought, let's call them Titan points. But when you're gathering TP, it, especially in the middle of this pandemic, is not... so colony points, we're gathering colony points. Okay, what resources do I need? I could go for some greens. I'll go for this bad boy over here. Stay around.
Okay, let's just go for these bots.
He's going for it. He's going for it.
Just gonna spend all our bots on trying to get more bots.
Oh, it works out. Now, to push him into the vortex and get a bot, No, I'm going to forego that battle because it ultimately never works out for me in the long run. So, where do I want to go? Have a lot of blue. What do I need? Oh, I need a lot of blue. Okay, so I'm going to place my little fella out here, and I'm going to place out my little custom bot. So I'm going to place him out as a double. I know I often place that guy as a double, but I like to try and ensure he goes where I want him to. So north south. Oh, north south. Damn it, that's not where I meant to place him. Okay. I'm going to spend a vortex token to try and re-roll that and hope for the best. Yes. Okay, so I'll stay where I am.
You meant to put him on the +2 CB.
I did. So there I was hoping to use the storm to my advantage, so I'd put him on the bonus 2 points. So if I stayed where I was, I got 2 points and I could collect the blues. But instead I accidentally placed him on the blues and rolled, so it meant that if I hadn't spent a vortex token, I would have had to move up to an empty square. Now I still would have been able to gather 2 blue resources because of my guy, but I wouldn't get 2 loads of resources.
So we're going to try something a little sneaky here, because Brian's doing a lot of sneaky things with these new bots. So we're going to try something sneaky here that I don't think he's noticed. So I'm going to put a bot here.
Oh.
And this is going to ruin his day. Okay. So I put it on a 2 blue, and the vortex is pushing him up into the 2 area, where we can then steal 2 resources off Brian if we get this right.
So normally a single bot can't go into a double area, but because of the pull of the gravitational storm, it means that it can be a single bot can be pulled. See, now you force me to, and I can play the bot's number. I can play the bot's game. So now I'm stealing back, and Owen has been bumped over to a lowly red.
The war has begun.
Now you're out of bots. I still have bots to play. Oh no. Oh. So your bot is destroyed, you get a vortex token, but now it means that I'm giving you a blue token. Darn. Okay, so with my final bot in a battle I didn't intend to get into. This is always a tricky round. Need green. Oh, hard to find any greens solo. Oh, I don't want to lose the... Oh, here, I'll go for this one. So, I either get a green resource or we all get a new bot. Yes! So I get a green resource. Okay, so we're all out of bots, so time to collect them up again. So these can be collected in any order, so I'm going to wait and collect my steel last, so I can wait to see what resources Owen has before... Oh, I forgot to build! I got so caught up in this bleeding battle, I forgot to build. Okay, so... green.
Alright.
So, other players get a blue resource, so you get a blue resource.
Oh, sweet.
I get a new bot. 2 green. Can't believe I forgot to build. That was the whole purpose of my...
Yeah, so we got a new bot and 5 extra victory points. It's a pretty good round. We lost a lot. We lost most of those wars that we got involved in. That's the problem with wars, I suppose.
There's no winner. Who thought we'd get political? Not me, anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to steal...
Blues and greens you have over there?
Too many. I'm going to steal some reds off you.
We don't want these reds.
What?
We don't want these reds. We have too many reds.
Cool. Well, then it worked out well for everyone. So, End of the round again. So this time, there's no one who's building. So Storm moves on to the next round. First player comes back. We get our reinforcements from Earth. So for round 4, we get 1 bot, we get a vortex token, and we get a resource of our choice. So I'll go for yellow this time. So I have a lot of resources now. You done?
Yeah, we are also going to go for yellow. Yellow.
Startle the cat with that M. So, what is the next thing? Oh yeah, so we gather up the resources that our domes have built for us. So I get 1 of each resource and another bot. Still.
We get a blue and a red, and we get to choose whatever 2 resources we want. If we are to finish the rest of these lower ones, we're going to need more yellow. So if we get 2 yellow now, we don't have to worry about it. So yeah, I think we should probably just get 2 yellow. Call out pretty low. So we can afford the first crop production. And we can afford the first laboratory. And we're pretty far away from the docking station. The docking station is it's 1 yellow, 3 greens, 3 blues, and 2 reds. So we have the yellows and the reds, but we only have 1 blue left to build that section. So we're going to need to get a lot more greens and blues, it looks like. I just figure some way out this one.
Okay, so I go first. So I'm going to start with just building a dome, because I forgot to build last time, so now I'm playing catch up.
Yeah, I think we're going to take these 2, keep them over for building domes at the end. We don't need to compete with Brian on building domes, so it's not a big deal. So we just need to get blues and greens.
Uh-oh. I need blues and greens as well.
I don't want to get involved in a war.
No.
Alright, so we're going to put a bot here on the 2 greens. It's out in the open. There's no vortexes around. Hopefully we won't get shot into a vortex. I don't know how we would, but
Oh, I can be imaginative.
east and west. We're going to spend a vortex token to reroll this, which seems a bit counterintuitive because, like, but at the same time, if we make it, it's going to be very easy for Brad to push me over, wouldn't it?
Yep. I could place a bot over here, and because the bots can move through the side, if I roll east-west, I can't go this way because there's a double wall, so a single bot would push him into the vortex.
You can go into the vortex. Oh, you can't. Alright, so he's going to go west, he's going to go east in here.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one. Because even if you don't, you can just go here anyway.
Yeah. So, I'm going to build another dome. And this game is a 2 to 6 player game. It gets a bit chaotic when there's 6 players involved. When there's only 2 players involved, as you can see, there's not always a lot of interaction. Sometimes there's a lot of interaction, but there isn't always a lot. The game seems to play best with 3, 4, and 5 players, but it is still very playable with 2 and 6.
I think these rolls do better. Alright, so we're going to put 2 down here. Oh, this is the same thing that happened last time. If I miss, then I just give it to you. Alright, we're just going to put a guy down and building dome. We're going to see what Brian does. There you go.
So as we said, we were hoping to have the game demoed and final artwork and everything over the convention seasons this year, but with lockdown, it's meant everything's been a bit tricky for us. So the plan is, all going well, next summer we'll have brand spanking new artwork. I don't think there's many kinks left, but all the kinks and bits and pieces worked out. We'll have 12 different awards under our belt, and come next summer we'll be demoing this at all the conventions and launching our Kickstarter at that stage. So make sure to follow us on social media or sign up for our mailing list to stay informed on that one. I don't know what I want to do. I'm going to place a triple bot out because now I need resources. So I'm going to place the triple with my collector out. So because I'm placing a triple, I don't need to roll a dice. Now that means that a single and a double bot can't bump me from where I am. But it does mean, if say Owen had a triple bot there and I really wanted that resource, I could choose to put my triple bot beside it and electively roll the 8-sided dice to try and push him off. But that's completely optional. If you're placing a triple bot down, you can just place him and he can stay where he is.
We're going to build another one. Just see what Brian does again.
Decisions.
Brian's got a whole lot more bots than we do.
Yes, I do. I'm going to build again.
Okay, so we don't have enough bots to build enough domes, which leads us to only being able to really risk it. Alright, so we're going to risk it. So we have to risk it, so we might as well risk it. Alright, so we're going to put a bot here. Just going to hope for the best.
Nice.
Hope for the best.
Nice.
So we got it.
Sticks the landing.
We got it, guys. Don't worry, guys. We're back in it.
He's got your back. He's got your back.
Back in it. Which means that we get those 3 resources. 2 of them we need. Brian can't attack that area.
I could throw a bot onto a move any bot and move you off it.
You could, yeah.
I'm not going to, because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to place my guy out here on this green and blue. Because I'm in the middle of the storm, if I move, I get thrown up into a green only one. So north-south. So instead of moving north-south, I follow the diagonal arrow, which pushes me up here onto this green guy.
We need a lot of stuff, actually, guys. We need a lot of stuff. We have a vortex token that gets in place of one of the greens. So if we get this spot that Brian's looking at, we will. Yeah, we're in good position. So we're gonna start this war with Brian.
Oh.
Just because we have to.
Oh, he stayed where he was.
We got another one.
He stayed where he was. Alright.
Alright.
I see how this is.
Don't be silly, no Cadillacs.
Out.
I don't want a Cadillac.
Well, now I don't know what I want to do.
There's a double green here. There's blues and greens.
There is. I might go for the out. Oh no! Oh, you nearly got me. Because if I go for the double green and I roll east west, I can't go west because I will bump into Owen and I can't push him anywhere, which means that I would have to go east straight into a vortex. Oh, he played a shrewd one there.
Brian explained that, like, earlier this round. So like,
If a bot can move, he has to move. Damn. Alright, we'll go for these two blue guys over here. Maybe I land on 2 yellows. I land on 2 yellows.
alright, so we're gonna put our bot on the build because I think we can afford the last section of this first row. So I think we're in a good spot right now. I think we're in a good spot. I don't know how to get the last few points, but we should be good.
There's still another round after this. It's anybody's game.
I don't know what to do after this round though.
I want to push my own bot into Vortex, but I kind of want those blues.
Do it.
I'll go with these 2 reds down here. East-west. I cannot seem to roll a stay in one spot dice to save my life.
So no matter what happens, we're gonna need some blues for next round. Okay. So we're going to send Brian's bot into the vortex, and he can't do anything about it because he doesn't have enough. Oh, he does. He doesn't. Oh, if we move, he still has, he can still do this. Alright, we're gonna do it anyway. Why not? Why not? You know, you have the bots.
Oh.
In he goes. Pachoo.
So my bot gets destroyed. I get a vortex token for it.
What are you gonna do?
I think we all know what I'm gonna do.
The war is on.
Tom suggested war. War it is. Alright, so that's all our bots placed out. So we did a heavy building round. So now we gather up our resources. Okay, yes, 2 yellow and green. I get another green. I get 3 blue and red.
What is it? 2?
Okay, so now it is time for building. So no one's on the build a cheap dome, so I get to go first. So
10 minutes left.
10 minutes. So we might wrap it up at the end of this round. I'll build this guy here, which costs me 1 yellow, 4 green, and 3 blue. It gets me 10 points, which is 29. The advantage of this one is that at the start of each round, I gain bonus points.
That's very good.
I build again, so I'm going to build the next one up the track. So I get 2 green, 4 blue, 3 red, and I get another 13 points, which takes me up to 42. Sneaking back into the lead.
And then we get 2 buildings. So we're going to start off with the bot production, which is 2 green, 1 blue, and 2 red. And that gives us 5 victory points. Not a lot, but it'll start multiplying pretty quickly. And then for the other building, we're going to build over here. And that's 1 yellow, 3 green. We don't have 3 green though, we've only got 2 green. So we're going to use a vortex token as a replacement for it. And then it's 3 blue and 2 red.
Nice.
And that gives us 13 victory points. And that shoots us back into the lead at 52.
Nice. My next one will be the last one at the top of this tower. So he's costing me a fortune. He's costing me 2 yellow, 2 red, 4 blue. And like Owen, I only have 2 green where I need 3, so I'm going to spend a vortex token as well. And I get 16 victory points, which takes me up to 58.
58, nice. The last dome build, we're going to build the final row here, which is 2 yellow, 2 blue,
yep,
and 1 green, which is 7 points, up to 59, just in the lead.
1 point.
And we also get an extra 10 points for completing the bottom row, shooting us up into 69. And we're winning.
You're winning for now, Mon Capitan.
Yeah, but the problem is when you're building that much, Brian is now currently on 5 bots with one of his guys. We currently have 3 bots. So the more you build, the less bots you have.
I also have the advantage that at the start of the next round, I'm getting 2 extra bots from my domes. So we'll get 3 more at the start of the round for reinforcements from Earth, but my domes will give me 2 extra. So I'll have 10 bots ready to go at the start of the next turn. So you're winning for now, but
yeah, it's
anybody's comeback.
We would get a lot more resources than Brian at the start of the go. And so we could use those resources then to try and see if we can build another building, maybe the docking station or the habitat for a 20 or 19 points, and we're hoping that would be enough to keep our lead. Our lead is at about 10 points. It'll be tough. It'll be tough to keep that track. Tough to know who's going to win.
So guys, we're going to wrap it up there. We could play at the final round, but we will wrap it up there because you've been listening to us talk for an hour now, and thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. As I said, if you're interested in the game, you really like Bumper Bots, you think this is a game I'd really like to see, do follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Sign up to our mailing list. The link is just there in the chat. Kira has posted up the badge code for anyone who hasn't got it already. Thank you.
We got a start from Witch Doctor 80. He says, "Sorry to interrupt, but what game is this?"
This game is Bumper Bots on Titan. It is a brand new up and coming game that we will hopefully have released summer next year. We had hoped to be this year, but it will be for next year. It's if you miss the start of it, it's a chaotic worker placement game. So it's a worker placement where the workers don't necessarily go where you tell them to. They might just run off by themselves and bump other bots around or gather the wrong resources for you. So it's a very fun little quirky game. But yes, sign up to our mailing list, follow us on social media to get all the latest updates. Your badge is there. You can, on our website, find our sign up to our mailing list. It's just there in the chat as well. That will enter you into a competition to win a playmat for our other game, Dice Summoners. You can also find our podcast and more details about our games and upcoming events and things there as well. Lots of things are beeping.
New follower, excellent.
So for anyone who is interested in purchasing Dice Summoners for yourself, I know it's not this game, but anyone who's interested in Dice Summoners or maybe a playmat, if you use the code UKGE2020, it will get you €5 off on our website for this weekend as a special bonus, since we can't see you all you lovely people in person. All you lovely persons in people. I'm gonna stick with my first one.
If you have any feedback on any of the prototypes you've seen, any of the games, you feel like the look, there's certain like the thematic, or there's certain mechanics you want to discuss, feel free to reach out to us on social media or by emailing us, or like whatever format kind of suits you is the best to reach out, because we'd love to hear any feedback you have.
Yeah, we always welcome feedback on our games when we're doing it, positive or negative. Even if you think, oh, that doesn't look like it works, or that seems too imbalanced, or I don't like the way that happens. Any feedback at all, more positive the better, but if you have any constructive criticism, it's always welcome too, because we need that kind of feedback to make sure the game isn't full of flaws by the time we actually publish it and pump grand thousands into it. So
and tomorrow when we're doing the similar kind of things, we can do variations and we can focus on different parts depending on which parts people find not clear, or people want to dig deep into. Anything you guys want.
Yeah, we will be doing another demo tomorrow. I think it starts at 2:00 if I'm correct.
Yep,
2:00 we'll be doing another Bumper Bots demo. If anyone has enjoyed watching and wants to get more involved, we can do an interactive one, the way Tom was playing along with Owen at the start of the game.
Thanks, Tom.
You did win, so after 4 rounds you were winning, so I can't fault your strategy. So do get in touch, do stay in contact, do follow us. We appreciate any and all feedback and any interest. If anyone has any comments, questions, and we'll be here for a couple more minutes if you want to ask it here in the chat.
Or on Discord.
Or on Discord. We're also on Discord. You can find us. The link has probably been posted there somewhere.
The link to our stand is there. So
The link to our
any
stand is
details
there.
on Bumper Bots or on any of our social media. Social media is all on the page as well.
Perfect. Just below the video, I actually think all the links to all the things I mentioned.
Yeah.
I think that's everything, unless you guys have any questions or feedback or interest or...
Yeah.
I just have a dry throat, I'm not infectious.
He's got the vid. That's people call it, right?
I like to call it the Rona.
The Rona.
That's me, the Rona.
Yeah, that was very good.
That's us for today. So
Great. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks very much
We
for
will
coming.
hopefully see you all tomorrow.
Witch Doctor says, I've only been here a few minutes, but I'm curious about the overlay.
Do you want to give
yes.
a brief
So,
overview of how the game works?
The overlay is a vortex storm that moves across the board throughout the game. So as the game progresses, it takes over more and more of the board and changes the layout of the board essentially. So instead of bots moving where they're supposed to or moving where they're not supposed to, they can be sucked around and pulled by the vortex storm. Oh yeah, sorry, maybe you want to hold that up.
Do you want to go through the bumping and the just a basic of a bump and a basic of a vortex bump?
Yep. With the so the way the bots work as well is that you can place out a single bot. If you place out a single bot, he will roll a 6-sided dice to decide where he goes. He can either stay in place, move north-south or east-west, and you get to pick which of those you want to go for. If you think, man, I really have to have that resource, you can place out a double bot, and you will roll an 8-sided dice, which increases your chances of staying where you are or choosing where you get to go. It also has a few chaotic north, south, east, west in there as well. If you think there's absolutely no other way for it, I have to have those resources, you can place a triple bot down, and that triple bot just basically plonks out and stays where he is. No need to roll any dice. He'll get that resource if no one pushes him off it. When it comes to bumping the bots can bump each other and knock each other out of the way to their heart's content. A single bot might land and go east-west and decide, yeah, I want that green and yellow resource and I'll push you over on to lose 2 points. But if you place out taller bots, a double bot can't be pushed by a single. So he'll just bounce off him and go back the other direction. A double bot can bump a double bot, or if you place out a triple bot, you need another triple bot to push that.
So
and
you're
bump in the storm.
Yeah, so you're kind of mixing the storms. So a storm could push you different ways, but then you also have to take into account the size of the bots. So the more bots you have, the more specific you can get and more precise your bots can land. But you've always got this chaotic worker placement kind of problem to solve. And with lots and lots of more people, there's kind of bots going all over the place, and you have to try and figure out what's the best opportunity you can have.
Yeah. And within the storm itself, if you place a bot out in the storm and you roll the dice, if it says north, south or east, west, instead of going those directions, you have to follow the gravitational pull of the storm. So sometimes it'll be north, sometimes it'll be south, sometimes it'll be diagonal. So you can use the storm to your advantage to get prime spots by increasing your chances of being pulled towards good spots. But there's also a risk of being thrown into a vortex and your bot getting destroyed. You'll gain these little vortex tokens, which can be traded back in for bots, points, re-rolling dice. They can be used instead of resources, or they can be just worth points at the end.
Yeah, so the vortex token allows so if you are getting pushed into the vortexes a lot, you might feel like it's a bit annoying that your bot's losing, but you can use these vortex tokens if you have enough of them to kind of get yourself a comeback and then kind of bring about resurrection. So it's cool.
Bots bumping in the storm. Bots will bump in just a straight line. They'll push everything forward and back. In the storm, however, if they bump someone sideways, they'll just follow the pull of the storm. So sometimes you'll bump people in a big spiral, which is hilarious when the end result is someone getting destroyed far away.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much a quick overview. We will be going again tomorrow at 2:00. Follow the links, and thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Witch Doctor.
Yes, much appreciated.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, guys. We'll
Yes.
finish the stream at this point. We'll see you all tomorrow. Or if anybody's around for any of the other streams, we might be around for a cup of tea. Who knows?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Have fun at the convention.
Best of luck.
See ya.